Without engineering and science, robotics would not exist. Robotics includes mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and computer science. Robots are used to make life safer, and yes, sometimes they do replace humans. So, if you're not afraid of the future, are multi-talented and enjoy design, construction, computer science, and operations, this may well be the career choice for you. Today on 48 Hours, we look into the career of a robotics technician. Welcome to 48 Hours, the show that brings the world of careers closer to you.
Hi, lebitso la ke Thapelo Takane, ke kena go Fendel High, ke na le 18 and ke kena go matric. Ke nna go deep slot and ke rata music, ke rata debate, ke rata programmer, ke rata lukisa. Ke rata technical subjects ko sekolong and my favorite subject is electrical technology and the other one is CAT, computer apps technology. Ke interested mo dira robotics technician, and the reason why ke nyago dira robotics technician is because in our programming and ke rata berekisa matsoaka. Gore ke rata robotics, it was because of my mentor. O kentseng go robotics because of the marks tsa tsa electrical technology le CAT. Are my marks are good enough for ke ka kena go robotics. That's why ke tseng go robotics. Thing I go learn from 48 hours ke advanced programming e kenya di my blocks meaning gore kenya ka o tseba o berekisa di sensor without using loops and switches.
Hi, I'm Donnie Haymans, Manager of Robotics at Hands-On Technologies.
Danny, how long have you been doing robotics?
Okay, so I've been teaching and training robotics now for the last 6 years with Lego Education. But I started off as a technician engineer and I worked at the SABC. Then there wasn't robotics, but that was about 8 years. And that was working on electrical equipment, cameras, videotape machines, etc. many years ago.
What does a robotics technician do in a day of work?
A robotics technician with electrical and mechanical experience and measuring experience would do maintenance on robots and all sorts of electrical equipment, okay? But maintenance, testing, and obviously repairs.
You're still doing a robotics technician even now?
I don't do repairs and maintenance anymore, okay? I've left that behind. I was that for a long time, okay? I still do a little bit of fun, you know, at home if something doesn't work, I don't mind fiddling with it. But now I'm involved with education, robotics in education, okay? And with that, what I do is we have robots which are good for school learners and matric learners and tertiary education like yourself. Okay, and I actually train the teachers to teach the learners on what robotics is.
The word robot comes from the Slavic word robota, which means labor. Nanobots are microscopic robots that are created in the biological context and are increasingly used in medical science. Researchers are working on nanobots that will be able to repair the human body from the inside. More than 1 million industrial robots are now in use, nearly half of them in Japan. The Council for Science and Industrial Research developed a mining robot that assesses the mines after blasting to ensure the safety of miners.
After you have qualified, is there more training after
Yes, definitely. Okay, so effectively what happens is when you have a degree, you've got some experience. But when you get employed, you go into a specific field of engineering, okay? And there's robotics now in every field of engineering. So robotics is very popular, okay? Whether it's car manufacturing or whether it's any manufacturing field in engineering, really, there is robotics involved, okay? Because there's programming and everything happens autonomously. Autonomously means that you push a button and the factory runs, okay? So what happens is there, you as a new person being employed, you will be put under the supervision of, you know, a senior technician or an engineer, okay? And then they will lead you through the process. So you will get in-service training, you will learn how everything works, okay? And then generally what they do is internally, they will offer you outside courses to go and do to improve your knowledge.
What interested you to go into robotics and engineering?
Well, as a young boy, I was very interested to see how things worked because of that interest. And when I opened things up, for example, and I didn't know what they were for, you know, I just fiddled. That was more mechanical. You know, when I was at Technicon and studying after school, you know, then I started learning about, voltages and currents and all the capacitors and resistors that were inside PC boards, etc.
What is the most challenging part of your job?
As a robotics technician, obviously when you fault finding, okay, because always there's pressure on fixing things. Generally, I think focusing, concentrating, you know, on what you have to do. Those are the challenges because it's so distracting. In fact, you get so into a problem sometimes that 8 hours of the day flies by, okay, and you don't even know how time has gone while you've been so deep into trying to solve a problem or do, well, maintenance is actually easy. It's only solving problems.
What do you enjoy the most about the job?
The most satisfying part about doing robotics or working as a technician or an engineer is actually solving something.
What do you need to study to become a robotics technician?
To study, now you would need to go to a university of technology, okay, and do a course in mechanical, electrical engineering or mechatronics. Okay, and mechatronics is obviously a combination of the two, but more programming.
What advice would you give me going forward?
Work hard at school and then stimulate your mind with hobbies like robotics, okay, but things where you use your hands. The other very important thing that you can do is if there's anything that you don't know how it works, okay, Google it, watch it on YouTube, okay, because there are many answers about how things work on YouTube. Okay, so now I've got a little robotics challenge for you. I know you've been doing robotics at school and worked on NXT, but I've got a little EV3 challenge for you, just on how we're going to program a robot to move around and use some sensors. Okay, so let's go and see if we can get you to do that, and I'll help you, don't worry. Okay, all right, go in front.
Endzhaku ka Khefi Thapelo u dyondza hi maendlelo yo tirha hi tiroboto. Before the break, Thapelo arrived at Hands-On Tech and learned a bit about how robots function and how things work in the robotics business. Okay,
Thapelo, so this is the robotics training room. This is where we teach robotics, and we are going to have a little challenge that I told you. You're going to do the challenge for us now. First, what we're going to do is, first the laptop does the programming. Yeah. Okay, we've connected this by Bluetooth just so to make it a little bit easier. This effectively is a robot. What does a robot consist of? A robot consists of a processor, okay, which is the brick, which is a mini computer. Oh. Okay. All right, and then it has inputs and outputs. The inputs on this robot are the sensors. So for example, here we've got a color sensor. This is the ultrasonic sensor. This is an angle sensor, and this is the touch sensor. The challenge I've got for you today is we're going to place the robot over here, okay? All right, and we're going to make this robot move. When the color sensor sees the black line, it's going to stop.
Robotics technicians build, maintain, test and repair robots. They also work with robotics-related automated production systems, assembling robots and testing them, as well as writing computer programs to control and direct robots is a large part of the job. What should you study to become a robotic technician? For starters, make sure you are working on your maths and science. A 4 to 5 year bachelor degree in engineering or related field is required for most entry-level positions in robotics engineering. Robotics South Africa is a non-profit body formed to promote the robotics industry in South Africa, especially to young people. So, why not get in touch with them?
So now if you just push the play button for us here, then the robot should move 2 rotations. Let's have a look and see. Pull in another wait for, yeah, good. Behind now, that's right, so now the robot's going to move, and we need to change that to the color sensor, and choose the color and compare a color. Good, yes, you can use the color. And now over here, can you see over there, it's saying number 5, which is red actually. We want to change that to black.
Oh.
Good, so change it to black. Okay, so now do you understand what's going to happen? Right, okay, so now we're going to play and download the same program. The robot will run, and if it sees the black line, it should stop, right? Okay, right, push it for us again. Just to play, there we go. Right, but now it's not running by itself. Why? Because we've put in the touch sensor, hey? So you need to touch the touch sensor with your finger to start the robot. Okay, you can do it. Oh, that worked. Mm-hmm. But did you see that the color sensor, look where it is now. The robot didn't stop straight away, did it?
Yeah.
So now we can get it to move forward again continuously, but we're going to use which sensor?
Ultrasonic.
The ultrasonic sensor. Okay, good. So now we've selected this. So now we can run selected there again. Let's see if the robot stops 15 centimeters from the obstacle. It's going. Yes! Give me 5. Well done. Okay. Right, Tapelo, so what we're going to demonstrate now, we demonstrated this in a stationary position. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually drive this whole unit on the factory floor to a point by using a driver robot that's going to sense the black line, so it has to stop at a certain place. Right, I'm going to activate this manually so you don't have to worry. Okay, so the program is running. All right. We touch sensor it. A bit of factory sounds, as you can hear. Okay, that should see the black line. Moves forward a little bit more. Now, if this was lined up and planned the way we want it, it should be right underneath this position again. Okay, right? So now, to activate that, to pick it up, you've got to push play again from here to run the autonomous part of the program. Right. There we go. Arms opened up. Picks up the object again. Well done. Lifts it. Warning that the arm's actually coming left for the engineer, for example. Okay, puts it down where it needs to be for the next thing to happen. The arm comes back to this position. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Is it incredible?
It is.
It's amazing to see, hey? Okay, very good, well done. Tapelo, as our prospective robotics technician, obviously a matric student. He's had a little introduction, but asked me very, very good questions. I had to think back a little bit on those. But from a robotics perspective, when we did the challenge, picked up on it really quickly, and I think managed really well. And certainly the product is obviously designed for learners at school to be able to do it really easily. So, good candidate, nice young man, and I think the robotics industry would benefit from having him study and follow that career.
As robotics grow, you could expect to work in a number of sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, mining, automotive industry, healthcare, chemical processing, electronics, computer processing, and marine engineering. In short, the possibilities are endless.
How was that?
It was a bit challenging.
But
yeah.
Yeah, you learned something.
Yes.
Okay, so work hard, qualify, and get into industry.
Denun rudile dilonyana te malwa and yeah. ke ithutile go gontsi. Ntho e ke ratileng ke gore na programming e bereka bjang le how sensors can respond.
Maendlelo ya tiroboto ma tshama ya ri ku cinceni ngopfungopfu eka science na engineering. Endzhaku ka Kefu Thapelo u hlangana na n'wamabindzu loyi a tirhaka ku endla tiroboto. Before the break, Thapelo got to learn more about the world of robotics. He even got to program and operate a few miniature robots. Sweswi u hlangana na xipano lexi tirhaka hi tiroboto.
Maobane ke ithutile go gontsi ka robotics gore na o programmiwa bjang gore na tshwanetse ke choose di-subject dife ga ke nyako ira robotics. Today ke nyako ithuta gore na go bjang go ba robotics business owner gore na ba gola bokae and ya e tlo ntswela molemo bjang.
Hi, my name is Ryan Beach. I am the CEO and founder of Robotics, Africa's first robotics design and engineering company.
What is Ryonic about?
Robotics is a local robotics company. We design and develop industrial robotic solutions. Our first focus is on inspection robotics. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
When did you start your company?
I started the company in 2014 and we got full traction in 2015.
Why did you choose to open this company?
I've always loved robotics and technology and gadgets, and I saw potential for robotic products in the South African industry, various industries. So yeah, I saw potential and I decided to do it.
Is it something that you studied for, or did you just get into robotics?
I first studied civil engineering, and then when I started the company, I did mechatronic engineering, and I'm currently doing industrial automation engineering.
What challenges can I face when I want to start a robotics company?
Yeah, I'd probably say the biggest challenge is funding, because to develop hardware specifically is very, very expensive.
How easy is it to make money in this industry as a business owner?
Not easy at all. Because the R&D and development takes so long and costs so much money, if you start, well, when we started this company for the first couple of years, you don't make money at all, because all your money and all your funding just goes into keeping the company going and developing products. So we're hoping one day when we start selling a lot of the products that we'll actually start making money.
There's a Robocop that's working in Dubai. Yeah. Now, do you think it's something that could work in South Africa?
Security robots have been around for some time. I think the first one was released in 2004, but I know there's currently about 8 variations. I think the Knightsbridge was the one that's now being used in Dubai. We're actually looking into a security robot ourselves as a future project, but it's definitely a very good solution for surveillance and security. I'll hand you over to Rick, our lead roboticist and head of engineering, and he'll be able to tell you more about the technical side. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, I like it.
Rick, how are you doing?
Good and yeah.
This is Thapelo.
Thapelo, how are you?
I'm going to hand him over to you.
Okay.
Rick is our lead roboticist and head of engineering. So he'll take you through some of the more technical stuff.
Can you follow me this way? All right, let's. All right, Thapelo, welcome to the assembly room. This is where we kind of give birth to the robots. We assemble them here from all the parts that we machine in the machine shop. And this is where the guys assemble the robots and test them so that we're very comfortable with them going out into the field and performing the job as they're supposed to.
Oh. How small can these robots be actually?
All right, these robots are, at this stage, these robots are bigger than they need to be. Basically, the challenge is what sets us apart from the competition is even with a small robot, is that we can go long distances underground. So in order to be able to go long distances, you have to make the robot heavy, because we need to drag either a power cable behind the robot or a safety line if you operate it in wireless mode. Problem is, you can never send a robotic vehicle like this into a dangerous underground environment like a pipe or stormwater drain without attaching a safety line. If something goes wrong underground inside the pipe, the water starts flowing suddenly, or the robot gets stuck or so forth, you always need a way to retrieve the robot, because it is an expensive piece of machinery. So you always need the ability to recover the vehicle if something should go wrong. All right, so over here we have a couple of the machines. You'll see this is the Herco. This is our big machine, and he is our, how can I say, flagship CNC machine. So this is where we take raw material and produce our parts for our robots. So this is also a CNC machine. And you'll see we put up these barriers because while the machine is cutting away on the material and spraying the lubricant so that the tip doesn't overheat, it basically sprays these metal shavings, right? So whenever you're at this machine, whenever they're operating, it's very important for safety. You have to have your safety goggles, you have to have your earmuffs, you have to have always protection when you're working with these heavy machines, right? I think definitely robotics is definitely growing in South Africa, especially at the secondary level, in high schools and so forth, all across the country. And I believe students currently in high school wanting to get into the field should definitely try to get involved with programs about robotics. These days you have the first Lego League, the first Tech League, all of these programs running around the country, and gives students the ability to already start learning about robotics, learning about the field, learning about the challenges, and it definitely guides them towards their career choice in the future.
It's really interesting today, because the robot ba di berekisa o etsang le gore na di etsang le di sensor tse involved mo robot gore e be successful ha ira dilo ke nkanya go ba robotics technician mare nkanya go ba on the mechanical side ke leboga 48 hours ka mfa this opportunity ya o tseba more about career e ke nyakang.
Thapelo a nga lemuki leswaku Dani u ta n'wi tirha na xihlamariso.
Because you participated, thank you very much. We've got a little gift for you. Okay, I'm going to tear this open and I want you to take it out so we can have a look at what's inside. Just remove the box for me. Just hold that. Okay, I'm going to put this aside here and open it. It's a mechanical set to learn, first of all, about building and putting things together. But inside here, lots of books, okay? All right, and different models that you can build. And there is a battery pack with the motor, so you can make the move, etc., etc. And then here also is a flash drive, okay, with some manuals which will help you learn about how to use these things, okay?
Thank you.
Good man.
Thank
5.
You. Surprise ke thotsing and a mini robot. Bare ke khonira the robot ko hae and ke khono improve on my mechanical side ya robotics. And ke thabile thata hore ke thotse something enga bereka mo yona.
If you want to be part of the 48-hour experience, contact us on our social media page, or if you're interested in more careers, go to our YouTube channel and get inspired.